Okay, so I'm going to read some of my favorite fables to you guys. I'm not going to read them how Aesop wrote them though, because he had so many unnecessary smart sounding words when...
How did he write them if he didn't have any arms? What is up, you guys? I'm Charmx. Today I'm going to be reacting to Reading Fables by The Odd Ones Out. Now, I think I reacted to Reading Fables Part 2 before, but I don't think I actually reacted to the Reading Fables part, if that makes sense, because I think there's like 2 episodes. I reacted to the first one, but I didn't react to this one. So, hopefully this is going to be quite interesting. The original link's in the description. Make sure you guys go subscribe to The Odd Ones Out. Without any further ado, let's begin.
Okay, so I'm just going to get right into the meat of this topic. I love reading fables. If you weren't paying attention in 10th grade English, a fable is a short story, usually with talking animals that have a moral at the end of them.
And aren't they like mostly messed up? Like, especially the older ones. Aren't they like really messed up at the end, but like people took them and made them more like friendly because they were like a little bit too messed up? Or is that something else I'm thinking of?
Good way to remember is that the word fable starts with an F, and so does furry. So, some examples of a fable you might have heard are the tortoise and the hare, Humpty Dumpty.
That is disturbing. Why? Look at that face. Oh my goodness.
Pacific Rim, and the autobiography of Hillary Clinton. This one's a fable because the main character is a bitch. I'm just kidding. Humpty Dumpty's not a fable. So there's this guy named Aesop, and he's best known for creating a bunch of fables. He's written over 655,
wow.
And seriously, I don't know why for some reason we can't find the exact number. How many fables has he written? Over 655. Oh, so... 656? Like, what's the range here? Unfortunately, he has died, so he won't be writing any more fables. So why can't we get the exact number? Like, what the heck, guys? And he also had a very strong...
maybe there was like a fire or something and burned a bunch of them, so they're like, it was like 600 and something, right?
Strong no photo policy, so no pictures of him were ever taken, because he was born around 500 BC. I don't even think he knew what a camera was, so... Here we go, this is what he supposedly looked like. And when
It looks like he... Was he blind or something? Look at his eyes.
Here we go.
Look at his eyes. They're all like glazed over.
This is what he supposedly looked like. And what I like most about fables is that the wording is so like Shakespearean and old-timey, and it makes you feel like you're smart for reading these short paragraph-long stories. And even better, they have a moral at the end of them. So once you're done reading, you're like, oh man, that was deep. Like every single fable.
Okay, so maybe fables aren't what I was thinking they were. Because for some reason, I always get like fables. Maybe it's fairy tales. I don't know, like, you know Hansel and Gretel? Like that? Is that a fable? Fables are normally animals, and I guess it's not. But whatever Hansel and Gretel is. You know where they, like, there's a gingerbread house or whatever, and there's a witch in it or something like that? The original, the true story, is that the witch actually, like, you know, and eats them. That's the original. And then it got turned around so that the kids put the witch in the oven or whatever. Because I guess, you know, having the sad version or the real version was too like I don't know what, brutal for kids because it was originally a kid's story or whatever.
Can end with one character dropping a microphone. Like the whole story is just build up to that one moral moment. Okay, so I'm going to read some of my favorite fables to you guys. I'm not going to read them how Aesop wrote them though, because he had so many unnecessary smart sounding words when...
How did he write them if he didn't have any arms?
Really, all of his fables could be shortened down to like 3 sentences. So here we go, Aesop's fables in my own words. Belling the cat. So there's these mice that get together and they're trying to come up with a plan to get this cat to stop killing them. And one mouse is like, oh, we could put a bell around the cat, you know, so now we could hear it or something. And this other mouse is like, yeah, alright, yeah, that's cool, Who's gonna put the bell on? Okay, so this one's kind of actually stupid. I don't really know what the moral is. Like, maybe no one wants to be the person to sacrifice themselves for the good of humanity or my sanity or... Okay, here's my...
Well, if they all go together and put the bell on, then the odds are that more will survive, right? Because if one goes out, the cat can focus on one. But if there's an insane amount, the cat's like, it doesn't know what to do, right?
My version of the rest of that story. So after the mouse said that, the other mouse goes, oh geez, other mouse, you're right, I didn't think of that. Well, I guess I say we all grab our toothpicks and kill the cat. You know, at least that ending made sense. A bell? Pfft. How about you poison it? Or like move somewhere where there's not a cat in the first place.
The horse and the groom.
So there's this horse and a groom, which is not the wedding kind, it's an actual groomer who just calls himself a groom. So this groom spends all this time brushing the horse and making it look pretty. And he also takes some of the horse's oats and sells it for extra cash. Okay, stop right there. Aren't oats supposed to be really cheap? Isn't that a thing? Okay, so the horse is getting malnourished and says, you know, you should really stop worrying about brushing me and more about feeding me. Man, that's deep. I think. The moral is, don't steal your horse's oats, especially if it talks.
Can't horses eat grass? Do horses eat grass? Maybe it's just, I know cows do. I don't know, I don't live on a farm. What do horses eat? I thought they ate grass. I know they eat carrots. Well, the horse can eat carrots instead of oats. I know they also eat oats. I don't know.
Like, you will never hear the end of it. The farmer with the goose with the golden eggs. So there's this farmer and he somehow gets a goose that lays golden eggs. And now you might be thinking, what's with all these gooses that lay golden eggs? Jack and the Beanstalk did it. The Simpleton Brothers did it. Well, did you know that this is the very first time a goose laying golden eggs has ever appeared in writing? I actually don't know if that's true. I made it up. I mean, it might be true. I don't know. It was 500 BC, you guys. It was a long time ago. And the goose only lays 1 egg a day. And the farmer gets greedy and wants more eggs. So he thinks, oh, I bet all the eggs are inside the goose. So he chops up the goose and guess what? There's only more goose.
Why would you think that? Why would you, and even if all the eggs were inside of the goose, there's only gonna be a limited amount, right? Like, there might only be 50 in it. But if the goose is gonna lay 1 egg every day, you know, maybe after 50 days, you'd be making more, right? So you'd have 50 eggs if you got them cut up now, or maybe you'd have 50 plus eggs if you just let them lay 1 egg every day. There's some logic for you.
Parts in there, not eggs. Okay, so the moral, know how basic things work, especially if you're a farmer and you don't know how geese work, or at least be close friends with someone who knows this. Hey man, I don't think that's how geese work. I mean, I get how you might think this is a magic goose because everything about this is physically impossible, but we could already live pretty decent lives with just 1 egg a day. Like, we're already in the top 1% now. How can a goose carry around a golden egg inside of itself? Do you know how heavy gold is? If there's solid gold, can a goose ever have babies? This seems like an evolutionary dead end to me. The bat and the weasels. So there once was this bat, and he fell, somehow. Aesop never really says how it fell. It's a bat. It can fly. Okay, so the bat gets
Aw, that's a cute little bat right there.
caught by a weasel. Like, one of these things? Okay, so you're saying that a bat gets caught by a weasel because he fell. Whatever, okay.
How does that doesn't make any sense.
So the weasel says, I am an enemy to all birds, and I'm going to eat you. And the bat goes, I'm not a bird, I'm a mouse. Oh, what are these things that look like wings? Oh, these, that's my blanket because I'm cold. Okay, that part wasn't in the story. So the weasel lets him go, but then it happens again with a different weasel, and this weasel says, I am an enemy to mice, and I'm going to eat you. And
then he says he's a bird?
Bat goes, oh, tiny weasel, but I'm not a mouse. I'm a bird.
Why don't you just say you're a bat? I mean, then you'd be fine. Well, yeah, why don't you just say you're a bat? Either way, you just say I'm a bat. And then that excludes you, and then you'd be fine.
And then he lets him go. Again. Sometimes Aesop wrote the moral you're supposed to take at the end. He did it with this one, and the moral verbatim is, look and see which way the wind blows before you commit yourself. So are you saying to follow the crowd? Like, go with the flow? That's not really good moral, Aesop. Also, why didn't the bat just say, I'm a bat?
Exactly. Just say, oh, I'm a bat, and then you're fine.
Losers, and I can fly. Later, it's also teaching you to make up lies on the spot that contradict your first lie. That's how you get caught lying. Okay, so last fable, the fox and the crow. So this crow has a piece of cheese in her beak, and this fox comes along and is like, oh, you're so beautiful. I just love your feathers. I wish I could just hear you sing. This crow is now very flattered, and she goes to sing, and then the cheese falls out of her mouth, and the fox eats it. And then the last line, this is beautiful, the fox says, you have a voice, madam, I see. What you want is wits.
Oh, roasted.
Story, everyone wants to steal your cheese. Don't let your guard down for a second. That would be a good t-shirt design, like.
I don't know why you didn't eat the cheese when you had it in your mouth for so long. I mean, at that point, you're kind of asking for it to be dropped.
It would say, everyone wants to steal your cheese, and then it would have like a silhouette of a fox and a crow. Someone make that t-shirt. I'll buy it.
Anyway, I hope you guys like this video. That bat one doesn't make any sense. Why did the bat just say, oh, I'm a bat? Why do you say I'm a bird or I'm a mouse? Say I'm a bat. Seriously, you could have avoided the whole situation if you just said that. I don't know. Anyway, I hope you guys like this video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up, possibly share with a friend if you're new, and subscribe and join the family. Also, make sure you guys go subscribe to the odd ones out. And with that being said, I'll see you guys the next time. Boop.